So I've been making 20 videos in which I tried to give simple answers on regular critical questions. And I call this series the Silly Christian series. So some, especially my own kids, were wondering why I did that. One of them said that it is kind of offending to her. And actually she's quite right. And I'm not sure whether Christians are nicknamed as being silly in the English-speaking countries, but in the Netherlands, the country where I come from, I've heard it pretty often. In the Netherlands, some use the word silly in a patronizing way. It is hard to translate, but it sounds a bit like, oh, you silly boy. And that in the sense of, oh, that's so cute, you still believe in a sky daddy? Actually, I personally never had any problem with that attitude towards Christians. I mean, take the name Christian. The name Christian used to be a scolding name towards the followers of the way. We can read that in Acts chapter 9 verse 2, where Saul asked him for letters to the synagogues at Damascus, so that if he found any belonging to the way, men or women, he might bring them bound to Jerusalem. So you see, that was the original name of Christians, people of the way, followers of the way. And I do prefer that name, people of the way, but I don't mind when people call me Christian, because the first believers received that name in a time of great persecution. You can read about it in Acts 11 verse 19 till 26. It was, and in some countries it is still, a nickname which is used with honor by believers, but with contempt by many anti-believers. In any case, I believe Christians shouldn't be so quickly offended, and that's why I came up with the title Silly Christian. But now, after 20 videos, I guess I can do something new. And one question that keeps popping up is that of why people won't accept the gospel of Jesus Christ. To some, it might be a rather easy question to answer. For example, if you accept the Calvinistic view on the gospel, you might just say that, for example, it did not please the Father to give them saving faith. And you would base that on Matthew 11, verse 25. Or, if you do not believe, it is because God did not elect you. Now, if that would be the case, I would not have to live and work as missionary in the middle of nowhere on Madagascar, would I? In that case, my wife would still be working as a lawyer, and I would prefer to live in a fancy house with 2 cars and a garage and a nice garden. The fact that we decided to trade that fancy life for a sober life in a wooden house in a noisy village betrays that I definitely do not believe the Calvinistic view on salvation. So, what then are the reasons people don't accept the gospel? You see, the reasons can be all sorts of things, such as religious tradition, peer pressure within the family, for example, or within friendships, or even the work of Satan. Some might doubt God's word. And all these are legitimate reasons, but I will not tackle these in particular. You see, I came across an 18th century Scottish Presbyterian church leader, theologian and philosopher named Thomas Boston. And Boston said in one of his sermons that people reject the gospel because of actual sinful vulnerabilities. Now, working in a different culture altogether, I have been placed in a position where it is easier to look critically at my own culture in the West. Then, reading through Boston's sermon, I was amazed by his insights. In the videos to come, I will cite from one of Boston's 8 main findings each time, and then add my own ideas and comments as well. Obviously, that means I will approach it from my own background, as well as from the background we work and live in right now. So this video was actually just to introduce the new series of 8 on the question of why people reject the gospel. You can follow me on Odyssey or subscribe to my channel on YouTube so you will never miss out on any new video. So stay tuned for the next one. The first of the 8 reasons we will discuss is that people have no due sense of spiritual wants. So I wish you God's blessing and we'll see each other at the next video.